Tonight, we continue our gentle journey through the Kanto region, visiting the final 4 gyms where the path to the Pokémon League takes its most mysterious turns. We'll wander through the misted walls of Fuchsia City, where Koga's stealth and strategy define the art of the ninja. We'll enter the polished halls of Saffron City, where Sabrina's psychic power blurs the line between mind and battle. Then we'll feel the warmth of Cinnabar Island, where Blaine's fiery intellect lights every challenge, before arriving in Viridian City, where the truth of the final gym and its leader awaits. The pace will remain calm and reflective, each gym introduced through its atmosphere, its leader and the spirit of the Pokémon within. Close your eyes and drift into Kanto once more. Welcome to Sleepy Pokémon, where nostalgic adventures guide you into deep, peaceful rest. Chapter 9, Fuchsia Gym, the House of Shadows. Hidden among the bamboo groves and misty trails of Fuchsia City lies one of Kanto's most enigmatic gyms. Known officially as the Poison-type gym of the Kanto League, Fuchsia Gym is both a test of battle skill and mental awareness. Unlike most gyms that display their power openly, this one conceals it in misdirection, illusion, and patience, a reflection of its leader's mastery of stealth and control. Fuchsia City itself has always been different from the great urban centers of Kanto. Its narrow streets, traditional architecture, and proximity to the Safari Zone give it an older, more contemplative air. The gym mirrors this atmosphere perfectly. While other gyms stand as visible landmarks, Fuchsia Gym blends into its surroundings, designed to look like an ordinary building among the trees. Its understated appearance has long been intentional, serving as the first of many challenges for visiting trainers. Finding the true arena is part of the test. The gym's origins reach back to the early establishment of the League, when Fuchsia was selected for its historical connection to Kanto's ancient ninja clans. These families had served as protectors, spies, and herbalists, developing expertise in both concealment and toxins. When the Pokémon League system formalized, their descendants proposed a gym that would carry on those traditions through battle. The League accepted, making Fuchsia the official representative of the poison type, an element often misunderstood, yet deeply rooted in Kanto's natural and tactical balance. Architecturally, Fuchsia Gym is a labyrinth. The official League registry describes its interior as a maze of sliding walls, hidden passages, and reflective barriers. Many of these features are optical illusions that trick the eye, creating the appearance of endless hallways or invisible obstacles. Trainers who rush forward without observation often find themselves circling back to where they began. The layout changes regularly under the gym leader's supervision, ensuring no 2 challengers face the same path twice. Reaching the battle chamber requires more than navigation. It demands patience and perception. The experience is designed to disorient, teaching trainers to remain calm under uncertainty. This lesson aligns with the central philosophy of the poison type, that endurance and awareness often outlast brute strength. The gym's longtime leader is Koga, a master of poison-type Pokémon and descendant of Fuchsia's ninja lineage. His league record describes him as a tactical specialist with exceptional command of environmental control. Koga's battles emphasize attrition, vision, and misdirection. He uses both the field and the natural instincts of his Pokémon to apply constant pressure on opponents. Under his direction, the gym operates as both a league facility and a training ground for students studying stealth and toxin-based combat techniques. In league-sanctioned matches, the gym follows a standard 3-on-3 format, fought within an enclosed arena surrounded by faint mist and reflective glass. Koga's Pokémon roster is among the most distinctive in Kanto. Weezing, Venomoth, and Golbat are his core team, each chosen for their ability to manipulate visibility and space. Weezing's smog clouds reduce accuracy. Venomoth's powder attacks disrupt rhythm, and Golbat's speed forces split-second decisions. Together, they create a battle that tests the trainer's ability to adapt rather than attack blindly. The Soul Badge, awarded to victorious challengers, symbolizes clarity within confusion. Its deep violet hue represents awareness through adversity. League documentation describes its meaning as the victory of perception over power. The badge's name reflects the gym's deeper purpose, to train the soul through discipline and stillness. Beyond the battlefield, Fuchsia Gym is closely tied to the city's other major landmark, the Safari Zone. Both were established under the same administrative framework, allowing cooperation between gym apprentices and field researchers. The gym's students assist in monitoring poison-type populations within the Safari Zone, studying antidotes and herbal remedies derived from local flora. This relationship between combat and conservation makes Fuchsia one of the League's most environmentally integrated cities. Koga's influence extends beyond his own tenure. His successor and daughter, Janine, trained under him within the same gym and later inherited the position. She maintained the labyrinth design and refined the curriculum for new apprentices, focusing on balance between offense and control. Her leadership ensured that Fuchsia remained consistent with its original identity while evolving to meet modern League standards. From a cultural perspective, the gym represents Fuchsia's philosophy of restraint and mindfulness. Every element within its structure, from its quiet corridors to its subdued lighting, reminds challengers that mastery comes from understanding what cannot be seen. Its location near the edge of the Safari Zone also reinforces the coexistence of civilization and wilderness, another recurring theme in Kanto's League system. The challenges of Fuchsia Gym often linger in memory, long after the battle. Trainers describe leaving with a deeper respect for patience and timing, understanding that strength means little without awareness. The gym's lessons extend beyond Pokémon combat. It trains focus, observation, and control skills as useful in life as in battle. Even today, Fuchsia Gym stands as one of the League's most respected and mysterious institutions. Its quiet halls echo with generations of trainers who learned that not every challenge can be met head-on. Sometimes victory belongs to those who move lightly, see clearly, and wait for the perfect moment to strike. In Kanto's long journey of strength, water, electricity, and nature, Fuchsia remains the shadow between the point where perception becomes power. The House of Chapter 10, Koga of Fuchsia City. Fuchsia City lies hidden in the green stillness of southern Kanto. Mist drifts through the forest trails, and bamboo leaves rustle softly overhead. Few cities in the region feel as secretive or as disciplined, and none carry the quiet tension that lingers here. Beneath this calm exterior lives the spirit of 1,000 years of training, and at the center of it all stands Koga, master of the Fuchsia Gym, whose every movement embodies focus, stealth, and purpose. Koga's presence is calm but commanding. He carries himself with the composure of someone who understands both power and restraint. His words are few, yet each carries weight. To meet his eyes is to face stillness itself, a measured gaze that seems to read thoughts before they're spoken. He is not a leader of noise or spectacle. He is the embodiment of patience, sharpened by precision. Trained in the ancient traditions of Kanto's shinobi, Koga treats battle as art. His philosophy blends the techniques of illusion, endurance, and deception into a seamless flow. Where other gym leaders challenge the strength of a trainer's Pokémon, Koga tests the discipline of their mind. The gym he built mirrors that ideal. Within its walls, challengers find themselves surrounded by hidden doors, mirrored corridors, and unseen traps. Each step forward demands attention and composure. To reach Koga's arena is to prove mental readiness before a single Pokeball is ever thrown. The field itself is simple: stone, shadows, and silence. He does not need spectacle to create intensity. His voice is even when he speaks, but his tone leaves no room for doubt. Do not chase what you cannot see, he often tells challengers. Instead, learn to see what cannot be chased. His teachings extend beyond victory. For Koga, awareness is the true measure of a trainer's worth. His battle style reflects that mastery of perception. Koga rarely acts first. He observes, waiting for the smallest misstep, a hesitation, an overcommitment, a lapse in focus, and then strikes with precision. His attacks unfold in layers, each designed to test adaptability. Where most trainers rely on visible power, Koga wields patience like a blade. He wins not by overpowering his opponents, but by unbalancing them, using confusion and endurance to break rhythm. The type he commands, Poison, is misunderstood by many. To Koga, poison is not a symbol of cruelty, but of control. It is the element of consequence, a test of how long one can maintain composure under pressure. In his philosophy, poison represents time itself, subtle, inescapable, and demanding respect. The more his challengers resist, the more they reveal their lack of harmony with their own strategy. Koga teaches that victory often comes from adapting to inevitability, not fighting against it. His signature Pokémon, Venomoth, is the perfect reflection of that idea. Graceful and silent, it drifts through battle like a whisper, scattering fine dust that can cloud the senses or dull movement. It strikes rarely but decisively, guided by Koga's calm instructions. Venomoth is not a creature of chaos, it is a test of patience. Those who panic before it have already lost. By contrast, Weezing embodies endurance and resilience. Its shifting clouds of gas obscure the field, forcing opponents to rely on instinct instead of sight. Where Venomoth teaches the importance of awareness, Weezing teaches endurance, the ability to remain steady when visibility and certainty fade. Koga uses Weezing to remind challengers that clarity is often found through stillness, not through struggle. In some battles, he trains with Golbat and Mook, two Pokémon that further illustrate his balance between grace and unpredictability. Golbat moves swiftly, striking in arcs of motion so fast they blur against the light. It represents speed, guided by discipline, power that knows its limits. Mook, by contrast, is the embodiment of adaptability. Its amorphous form resists structure, reshaping itself constantly to match the rhythm of its foe. Together, these Pokémon show that control is not rigidity. It is flexibility without surrender. Later in life, Koga expands his mastery through his Ariados and Crobat, two Pokémon that showcase evolution through partnership. Ariados weaves traps before the battle even begins, its silk turning the arena into a field of quiet inevitability. Crobat, born from trust with a Golbat that once fought under his command, represents the ultimate harmony between trainer and Pokémon, speed, precision, and balance achieved only through loyalty. Koga's lessons extend far beyond combat. His apprentices speak of his quiet rituals, rising before sunrise to train, meditating beneath the forest canopy, tending to his Pokémon with the same care he gives his weapons. To him, training is not preparation for conflict. It is devotion to discipline. He believes mastery is found in humility, and that one's greatest opponent is always oneself. His guidance shaped not only challengers, but also his own daughter, Janine, who would one day succeed him as gym leader. To her, he passed down the same principles that defined his life: awareness, restraint, and respect for hidden strength. He never demanded that she imitate him. Instead, he taught her to find her own rhythm within the silence. The continuation of their lineage represents the harmony of tradition and evolution, two generations breathing as one through different forms of the same art. The soul badge he grants carries more than proof of victory. Its meaning is layered, symbolizing not only survival through his toxins, but also understanding through reflection. To earn it is to prove control of mind as much as control of Pokémon. It reminds challengers that true strength is not found in force, but in patience, awareness, and adaptability. Outside of battle, Koga remains elusive. He lives in balance with the forest surrounding Fuchsia, blending into its quiet rhythm. To see him training at dawn is to witness stillness in motion, his form moving through mist, accompanied by his Pokémon as shadows among the trees. He speaks little of glory or reputation. For Koga, mastery is not a title, it is a state of being. He embodies the quiet truth that poison teaches: what is unseen can still shape the world. Just as a single drop can change the course of a battle, a single moment of clarity can change a life. Koga of Fuchsia City stands as Kanto's silent guardian of discipline, a man who hides nothing yet reveals only what one is ready to perceive. He is patience sharpened to a blade, humility honed into art, and stillness deep enough to hold the whole forest in its breath. His enemies see danger in his calm. His students see truth in his silence. And every challenger who walks away from Fuchsia carries a piece of his lesson within them. Power fades. Awareness endures. Move with the world, and it will never lose sight of you. Chapter 11, Saffron Gym, the Mind of Kanto. Saffron Gym stands at the heart of Kanto, geographically, politically, and symbolically. Located in the capital city of the region, it serves as the headquarters of psychic mastery and intellectual discipline. The gym represents both the height of mental focus and the challenges of controlling power that exists beyond the physical world. Its influence radiates across Kanto, much like Saffron City itself, which connects all major routes between eastern and western territories. Historically, Saffron Gym was one of the last Kanto gyms to gain league certification. The Pokémon League required strict regulations before approving any psychic-type facility, due to the volatile and unpredictable nature of psychic energy during early research. When those controls were finally established, the gym was constructed as a hybrid between a meditation hall and a research center. Its purpose extended beyond competition. It was designed to train both humans and Pokémon in self-awareness, focus, and restraint. The gym's architecture reflects its philosophy. From the outside, it appears minimalistic: smooth white walls, tall pillars, and calm symmetry. Inside, the environment shifts with perspective. Long corridors, silent rooms, and geometric floor patterns create the sensation of space bending around the observer. The lighting is diffused and indirect, designed to reduce distraction and encourage mental clarity. Psychic energy fields are embedded into the structure itself, allowing minor fluctuations in gravity and perception during battles. The gym's defining feature is its teleportation puzzle system, a network of warp tiles that transport trainers between identical rooms. This structure is one of the most famous in the Pokémon League. Its purpose is not merely to confuse, but to test spatial reasoning and composure under uncertainty. Many trainers find themselves looping endlessly until they learn to think calmly and track patterns rather than react impulsively. The puzzle mirrors the challenge of battling a psychic-type specialist, overcoming one's own mind before facing the opponent. At the center of this maze sits Sabrina, the recognized gym leader and one of the league's most powerful psychics. League archives record her as a trainer who displayed psychic abilities from a young age, developing both telekinesis and telepathy. Her role as a leader extends beyond competition. She is considered an expert in the study of human Pokémon psychic synchronization. Sabrina's demeanor is known for being quiet, analytical, and emotionally restrained, traits common among highly attuned psychics. Sabrina's battles are a study in precision and control. The official league format for Saffron Gym is 3-on-3, fought within a circular arena surrounded by light-reflecting crystal panels. The battlefield itself is neutral, with no terrain advantage, emphasizing strategy and timing over environmental manipulation. Psychic energy resonates faintly during combat, visible as soft distortions in the air. Her standard team is built around Kadabra, Mr. Mime, and Alakazam, each embodying different aspects of psychic mastery. Kadabra represents focus and foresight, using predictive tactics and disabling techniques. Mr. Mime emphasizes defense and barrier creation, manipulating both visible and invisible space to control movement. Alakazam, the gym's cornerstone Pokémon, symbolizes intellect and efficiency, its battle style based entirely on anticipation and precision. Each battle unfolds as a psychological examination as much as a contest of strength. The Marsh Badge awarded to those who defeat Sabrina is one of the most symbolic in Kanto. Its smooth, reflective surface resembles glass, meant to signify transparency of thought. The League describes its meaning as awareness without illusion. To earn it is to demonstrate composure under psychic pressure, and to prove the ability to see through confusion, misdirection, and fear. Saffron Gym's influence extends well beyond its walls. The facility maintains close collaboration with Sylph Co., the region's largest scientific corporation, headquartered in the same city. The partnership allows for research into psychic-type energy, Pokéball technology, and energy transmission systems. Several of the gym's apprentices have gone on to become researchers or engineers, bridging the disciplines of psychic study and applied science. Culturally, the gym is viewed as the intellectual center of the Pokémon League. While other gyms embody physical or elemental mastery, Saffron represents mental evolution, the idea that a trainer's mind must be as disciplined as their team. The city's cosmopolitan environment reflects this philosophy, balancing technological progress with psychic tradition. Saffron Gym also serves as a formal training institution. Beyond league matches, it offers advanced courses in telepathy, meditation, and nonverbal communication between trainers and Pokémon. Visitors often describe the atmosphere as calm yet intense, with silence that seems to carry weight. The facility's apprentices train daily in exercises of stillness and focus, supervised by senior psychics who ensure the ethical use of psychic ability, a responsibility the League enforces strictly. From a narrative standpoint within Kanto's journey, the Saffron Gym marks a turning point. It challenges trainers to confront not only their strategic limitations but also their emotional ones. Victory here is rarely achieved through brute force. It requires understanding rhythm, patience, and intuition, traits often developed only after enduring several defeats. Over time, Sabrina's leadership has softened, though her calm intensity remains. Reports within League communications mention her mentorship of younger psychics and her commitment to promoting emotional balance in psychic training, a recognition that power without empathy leads to instability. Her influence continues to shape psychic education throughout Kanto and beyond. The Saffron Gym remains one of the most respected and difficult challenges in the League system. It is the embodiment of balance, intellect tempered by discipline, confidence softened by humility. Its lessons echo the very principles of the Pokémon League itself, that true mastery is not dominance, but understanding. When the teleportation tiles fall silent and the lights dim, the arena reflects a single idea that thought itself is the battlefield. For every trainer who walks away holding the Marsh badge, Saffron Gym becomes a quiet reminder that before one can conquer the world, one must first command the mind. Chapter 12: Sabrina of Saffron City. Saffron City stands at the very center of Kanto, a vast network of glass, steel, and light. Beneath its polished skyline, however, runs a current of stillness that few understand. The city's true power is not in its size or wealth, but in its quiet concentration, and no one embodies that better than its gym leader, Sabrina, the master of psychic-type Pokémon. To meet Sabrina is to enter a presence that feels almost beyond human rhythm. Her expression is unreadable, her voice calm and deliberate. When she speaks, it's with the measured tone of someone who observes everything at once: thoughts, emotions, and the spaces between them. She is not cold, but distant, as though she stands on the edge of a deeper silence that most cannot reach. From an early age, Sabrina's talent for psychic ability was extraordinary. While most trainers begin by learning about Pokémon through books or mentorship, she learned by feeling, perceiving energies that others could not. Her gift isolated her. She understood minds long before she understood hearts, and that gap defined much of her life. Where others sought companionship, she sought control. Her power, immense and untamed, became something to be managed rather than celebrated. The Saffron Gym reflects her inner world perfectly. Its halls are minimalist and echoing, built of smooth stone and quiet air. The space seems to hum faintly, not from machinery, but from thought itself. Walls shift through hidden passages, and light bends in ways that make distance uncertain. Every step feels both guided and tested. Challengers often describe the sensation of being watched before they ever see Sabrina. Not with eyes, but with awareness. She values discipline above all else. To face her is to face one's own state of mind. Doubt, fear, impatience, she senses them immediately, and they become her weapons. Psychic battles are unlike any other in Kanto. They are not clashes of strength, but of intention. Against Sabrina, every unsteady thought becomes visible, every hesitation magnified. Her battle philosophy is founded on balance between clarity and control. Psychic power to her is not simply force of will, it is harmony between emotion and focus. She trains relentlessly to maintain this equilibrium, for even a single lapse in calm can cause her abilities to turn inward, fracturing her own peace. That is the danger and the beauty of her power. It mirrors her heart exactly. Sabrina's signature partner, Kadabra, embodies this reflection. Its spoon is not a tool but a focus, a conductor of unseen energy. Together, they move in absolute synchronization, thought and action occurring as one. Kadabra's ability to distort space and reality itself complements Sabrina's precision perfectly. The field becomes fluid when they fight, attacks appearing and vanishing in blinks of light, opponents disoriented by the distortion of perception. Through years of mastery, that partnership evolves into something even greater, Alakazam, a being of vast intellect and calm presence. Alakazam mirrors Sabrina's maturity. Where Kadabra represents the raw power of thought, Alakazam represents wisdom, psychic strength refined into understanding. In Alakazam's eyes, there is the same depth that lives in Sabrina's silence. Awareness without arrogance, confidence without pride. Her supporting team often includes Pokémon such as Mr. Mime, Espeon, and Hypno, each chosen for their subtlety rather than brute strength. Mr. Mime constructs barriers invisible to the eye, turning the arena into a maze of thought and illusion. Espeon, sleek and luminous, responds to Sabrina's emotions instinctively, proof that empathy and intellect can coexist. Hypno, with its pendulum and patient stare, reminds challengers that mental strength often requires facing one's own subconscious fears. Each Pokémon serves as a reflection of her evolving perspective on psychic power, not as domination of the mind, but as harmony with it. Where once she sought absolute control, she later learned acceptance, that thought and emotion are not enemies but partners. Sabrina's leadership extends beyond the gym. In Saffron City, she is regarded as a quiet guardian, protecting its people through awareness rather than presence. Her influence is subtle but profound. Under her guidance, the psychic discipline became respected across the region. Its practitioners valued not for their power alone, but for their discipline and ethics. Yet despite her mastery, Sabrina remains introspective. She spends long hours in meditation, often seated in her gym's central chamber surrounded by her Pokémon, the air around her pulsing faintly with unseen energy. Those who visit describe the experience as stepping into another world, one where thought itself becomes visible, drifting like light through the air. Over time, her demeanor softened. The woman once defined by isolation grew into one defined by understanding. Through the bond with her Pokémon and her students, she came to see that empathy is not weakness, it is the truest form of clarity. The more deeply she connected with others, the more refined her power became. The marsh badge, her symbol of mastery, carries the shimmer of shifting glass, a reflection that changes depending on the angle. It represents duality, mind and heart, logic and feeling, strength and vulnerability. To earn it is to have faced not only Sabrina's team, but one's own inner imbalance. For many trainers, the memory of that battle lingers long after it ends. They recall not the moment of victory, but the silence afterward, a silence that feels both humbling and freeing. Sabrina never congratulates with grand gestures. She simply bows, eyes steady, as if acknowledging the unseen growth within her challenger. Outside her gym, Saffron continues to glow, alive with energy and movement. But within its quiet heart, Sabrina remains the still point around which everything turns. Her mastery is not loud or showy, it is steady, disciplined, and infinite. She teaches that power begins with awareness, that control is born from acceptance, and that silence can reveal truths no sound ever could. Sabrina of Saffron City stands as Kanto's mind made manifest, sharp as crystal, calm as moonlight, and endlessly deep. The one who listens to thought itself. The mirror between perception and truth. And the lesson that the strongest trainer is the one who first conquers themselves. Chapter 13, Cinnabar Gym, the Volcano of Knowledge. Cinnabar Gym is one of Kanto's most storied and symbolic league facilities, resting on Cinnabar Island off the southern coast. Surrounded by volcanic terrain, geothermal vents, and ocean mist, the gym represents the duality of fire, its potential for destruction, and its role as a source of creation. Long before it became a league landmark, Cinnabar Island was known for scientific exploration and the study of prehistoric Pokémon. The gym's existence merges that scientific spirit with the fierce intensity of fire-type mastery. The earliest records of the Cinnabar Gym date back to the early decades of the Pokémon League. At the time, the island was home to several laboratories and excavation sites devoted to fossil restoration, including research on ancient Pokémon such as Aerodactyl and Kabutops. The island's active volcano made it both dangerous and invaluable. Its heat provided natural energy for experiments and power generation. The gym was established nearby to represent the fire element within Kanto's regional structure and to promote balance between research, discovery, and combat excellence. The gym's leader, Blaine, is both a scientist and a strategist. Known for his work in Pokémon genetics and thermal energy studies, Blaine designed the gym to function as an intellectual challenge as much as a physical one. League documentation records his philosophy clearly: that trainers must think before they act. Every challenger who enters the gym must solve a series of knowledge-based questions before facing him in battle. These questions range from Pokémon-type matchups to historical trivia, ensuring that intelligence and curiosity are tested alongside skill. The original Cinnabar gym was built within the main settlement on the island, close to the laboratories and the Pokémon Mansion. The mansion itself played a significant role in the gym's history. It was once used for genetic research, including experiments related to the legendary Pokémon Mewtwo. Though the League officially distanced the gym from those studies, the site remains part of the island's complex legacy, blending science, secrecy, and ambition. After the Cinnabar volcano's eruption in later years, the gym was destroyed along with much of the city. League reports confirm that Blaine relocated his operations to Seafoam Islands, temporarily converting a cave system into a new arena until reconstruction on Cinnabar could be completed. This relocation demonstrated the adaptability and endurance that characterized both Blaine and the fire type. When the island was eventually resettled, the gym was rebuilt near the volcano's base, smaller, more focused, and dedicated entirely to battle and research. The gym's structure is unlike any other in Kanto. The central chamber contains a battle arena surrounded by channels of molten rock, visible through reinforced glass panels. The air shimmers with heat, and the lighting glows with the natural red hue of magma. The environment alone challenges a trainer's composure. Heat management, stamina, and focus are critical. Despite the apparent danger, the gym follows strict League safety protocols, with thermal regulators and emergency systems built into every wall. The standard battle format for Cinnabar Gym is 3-on-3, conducted under elevated temperature conditions. Blaine's team composition has remained largely consistent through his League tenure: Magmar, Rapidash, and Arcanine. Each Pokémon represents a facet of Fire-type mastery. Magmar symbolizes endurance and heat, Rapidash embodies speed and control, and Arcanine, often viewed as Blaine's closest companion, represents loyalty and intensity. Together, they test a challenger's ability to balance offensive pressure with defensive awareness. Blaine's teaching method through battle reflects his scientific mindset. He rewards creativity. Trainers who find unconventional ways to adapt to the environment often gain his respect. The gym's arena design encourages experimentation with moves that influence weather or terrain, demonstrating to challengers that adaptability is a universal skill, even against overwhelming elemental force. The badge awarded at Cinnabar Gym is the Volcano Badge, a stylized emblem shaped like a radiant flame. According to League archives, it symbolizes wisdom gained through adversity, the understanding that knowledge like fire can illuminate or destroy depending on how it is used. To earn it is to show not only victory in combat, but composure in thought. Beyond combat, the Cinnabar Gym functions as an educational center. Blaine's connections to the island's laboratories allow for joint training programs that combine battle research with field studies. Fire-type trainers frequently volunteer in geothermal monitoring and environmental restoration, ensuring that the gym contributes to both the League and the community. This partnership highlights the broader theme of Cinnabar Island, the coexistence of human curiosity and nature's raw force. The Cinnabar Gym also plays a unique role in League history, as one of the few gyms directly affected by natural disaster. Its destruction and later rebirth reinforced its thematic purpose, that strength comes through renewal. The reconstruction effort, supported by League officials and citizens alike, turned the island into a symbol of resilience. Today, the gym operates as both a competitive facility and a monument to endurance, a living reminder of how even the fiercest flame can bring light after loss. Within the Kanto gym circuit, Cinnabar represents one of the final and most demanding trials. Trainers arriving from the mainland must demonstrate not only battle readiness, but also the mental maturity to handle complex conditions. By the time they leave the island, most challengers describe the experience not as a battle, but as a trial of identity, one that tests how far they've come and what kind of trainer they've become. Cinnabar Gym's legacy endures in every flicker of its volcanic light. It stands as the meeting point between intellect and instinct, heat and control, curiosity and respect. The island's molten heart continues to burn beneath the surface, reminding every visitor that fire is not chaos, it is potential, waiting to be understood. Chapter 14. Blaine of Cinnabar Island. Cinnabar Island rises from the southern sea like a fragment of living fire. Steam curls from cracks in its volcanic rock, and waves strike its dark shores with rhythmic force. The air carries both the scent of ash and salt, a reminder that creation and destruction coexist here in balance. At the island's heart stands Blaine, Kanto's fire-type gym leader, a man whose intellect burns as brightly as the flames he commands. Blaine is not the kind of leader who seeks attention. His presence is quiet but sharp, his movements precise. Behind his glasses, his eyes seem to hold both warmth and intensity. He speaks little during battle, not because of arrogance, but because every word has weight. Those who meet him sense the quiet pressure of a mind that has studied both science and the human spirit, and learned how to blend the two into something enduring. Before he became known as the hot-headed quizmaster, Blaine's life was one of study and solitude. Once a scientist devoted to Pokémon research, he spent years unlocking the mysteries of evolution and elemental energy. The volcano that dominates Cinnabar was both his home and his laboratory. Its constant rumble, its unpredictable heat, these became symbols of the very force he sought to understand: power in motion, creation through tension. Blaine's intellect and passion for discovery made him one of Kanto's most respected scholars. Yet his research also revealed to him the fragility of control. Fire, though harnessed through study, never truly belongs to anyone. It teaches both responsibility and humility. That lesson shaped Blaine into the kind of trainer he is: deliberate, exacting, and deeply respectful of the forces he commands. The Cinnabar Gym, like its leader, is both a trial and a riddle. Once located within the island's main settlement, and later rebuilt inside the volcano itself, it challenges trainers to think before they act. Doors open only to those who answer Blaine's scientific and strategic questions correctly. The puzzles are not meant to frustrate, but to prepare to slow the mind before the heat of battle begins. For Blaine, intelligence is as vital as courage. Fire without thought, he says, will consume its wielder long before it defeats the opponent. When the battle finally begins, the gym becomes a chamber of molten light. Lava glows beneath glass floors, casting an amber reflection across the stone. The temperature rises as Blaine removes his coat, revealing the calm focus beneath his eccentric appearance. He gives a single nod, and the air itself seems to shimmer. Blaine's combat style blends intellect and intensity. Every move is calculated, yet every strike carries the raw emotion of flame. He prefers strategy over spectacle, layering his attacks with precision, forcing challengers to adapt under pressure. His battles are tests, not just of endurance, but of mental composure. The field becomes a forge, and the trainer who cannot withstand the heat of decision-making will quickly fall apart. His signature Pokémon, Magmar, is both his companion and his mirror. Magmar embodies everything Blaine believes about fire. Unpredictable, alive, but capable of incredible control under the right hand. Its body radiates heat like a living furnace, yet its movements are graceful and exact. Together, they fight as one mind, every strike measured, every counter deliberate. When Magmar battles, the field becomes a vision of motion and light, a fusion of danger and elegance that only Blaine could inspire. Supporting Magmar are Pokémon like Rapidash, Arcanine, and Ninetales, each chosen for their balance of beauty and strength. Rapidash, with its mane of flame, represents speed refined through focus. Arcanine reflects loyalty and courage, its roar cutting through the heat like a declaration of resolve. Ninetales, serene and timeless, symbolizes wisdom, the intellect behind the flame. Blaine's teams across the years have varied, but they always share a core principle: elegance through mastery. No fire under his command ever burns without purpose. Blaine's teaching goes beyond battle. He often reminds challengers that intellect is not cold. It is what allows passion to survive without destruction. To him, the true test of a fire-type trainer is not how brightly they burn, but how well they sustain the flame. Many who earn the Volcano badge leave with a new understanding that strength and restraint must coexist, just as magma cools to create new land. His dual identity as both scientist and gym leader makes him unique among Kanto's guardians. He understands how easily curiosity can turn reckless, how power can tempt without warning. That awareness makes him cautious but compassionate. He encourages discovery, but demands responsibility. In his view, every trainer is an experiment, not in strength, but in character. Outside the gym, Blaine remains an enigma. He divides his time between research and meditation, often seen walking the volcanic ridges at dawn, where the light of the rising sun turns the sea to gold. There, he studies the movement of the smoke and the rhythm of the earth, seeing in them the same lessons he teaches his students. Creation is never separate from destruction. The challenge is learning to live between them. Over the years, the Cinnabar volcano has tested him as much as he has tested others. When its eruptions reshaped the island, Blaine rebuilt, choosing not to flee, but to adapt. That decision alone defines him, the man who studies fire, yet refuses to be consumed by it. His gym stands as proof that wisdom can emerge from even the harshest conditions. The Volcano badge, shaped like a flame frozen in motion, represents that balance. It is given not for overpowering Blaine, but for enduring him, for meeting the heat with focus instead of fear. Many trainers describe their match against him as both exhausting and enlightening. They leave not only with a badge, but with the quiet respect of someone who has seen their inner fire and found it worthy. Blaine's name carries weight across Kanto not just because of his victories, but because of what he represents, the merging of intellect and instinct. He is the spark of invention, the warmth of discipline, the reminder that power without reflection is nothing but destruction. As night falls over Cinnabar Island, the volcano glows faintly against the horizon. The sea shimmers in its reflection, and somewhere within the mountain's heart, Blaine continues his study, surrounded by the low roar of molten earth and the steady breathing of his Pokémon. He remains what he has always been, the scientist who found truth in flame. A man of reason and passion intertwined. The keeper of Kanto's eternal fire. The island may sleep, the lava may cool, but Blaine's light endures. Because wisdom, like flame, never truly dies, it only changes shape. Chapter 15, Viridian Gym, the final challenge. Viridian Gym stands in the northern heart of Kanto, where the journey of most trainers both begins and ends. Resting near the forested entrance of Route 1, and within sight of Pallet Town, the gym holds a unique and almost mythic place in the Pokémon League. It is not only the 8th and final gym in Kanto's official circuit, but also the most mysterious, a symbol of culmination, secrecy, and transformation. Viridian City itself has long served as a transitional hub between the natural world of Viridian Forest and the more developed southern routes. It is a city of passage, quiet and modest in appearance, yet home to one of the most powerful gyms in the region. Historically, the League designed Viridian to serve as a symbolic conclusion to the Kanto Challenge, the point at which a trainer proves they have mastered every lesson taught by the gyms before it. Endurance, adaptability, precision, balance, awareness, intellect, wisdom, and now, full integration of strategy and strength. The gym's classification is ground type, though its influence extends beyond any single element. Ground types are seen as the foundation of all life in Kanto, steady, ancient, and connected to the land itself. The element represents both physical and moral grounding, qualities that define the kind of trainer worthy of reaching the Indigo Plateau. League archives record that Viridian Gym was originally established decades ago, under the supervision of the Pokémon League's governing council. For much of its history, the gym was vacant, its leadership shifting amid political and administrative changes. Its most famous and controversial period came under Giovanni, the enigmatic figure who would later be revealed as the leader of Team Rocket. During his tenure, the gym's reputation became intertwined with both greatness and secrecy, making it one of the most complex institutions in League history. Architecturally, Viridian Gym mirrors its dual nature. From the outside, it resembles a traditional League facility. Large stone pillars, polished marble floors, and an elevated emblem of the ground type etched into its entrance. Yet beneath this formal exterior lies a network of subterranean chambers, used for both training and strategic simulations. These underground rooms, once used by Giovanni and his apprentices, symbolize the duality of light and shadow that defines the gym's story. The main arena is vast and imposing, a circular field of compressed soil with raised platforms, designed to replicate natural terrain. It is surrounded by walls lined with fossilized rock and metal supports. The battlefield itself can shift configuration, creating pits, ridges, or shifting sand through a built-in hydraulic system. These mechanics ensure that no two matches unfold identically, emphasizing the adaptability and spatial awareness expected of challengers. Under Giovanni's leadership, the gym operated with strict professionalism. His approach was methodical and intimidating, combining the tactical precision of a military strategist with the control of a seasoned trainer. His philosophy treated Pokémon battles as tests of intellect, rather than brute strength. Records show that Giovanni's standard team included Dugtrio, Nidoqueen, Rhyhorn, and Rhydon, a lineup that reflected his deep understanding of balance between offense and defense. Each Pokémon played a distinct role in creating layered field control, forcing challengers to anticipate moves several turns ahead. The Earth Badge, awarded to victorious trainers, stands as one of the most respected emblems in Kanto. Its design resembles a cluster of green crystals, representing stability, growth, and connection to nature. Symbolically, the badge marks the final step in a trainer's personal evolution, the moment they prove mastery over not just elements but their own judgment. The League defines its meaning as the union of knowledge and power. The downfall of Giovanni marked a turning point in the gym's history. After the public exposure of Team Rocket's operations, Giovanni resigned from the Pokémon League and vanished from official record. The gym was subsequently sealed for several years while the League investigated and restructured its leadership system. During this period, Viridian Gym became a symbol of reflection and renewal, a reminder that strength without integrity leads to collapse. Eventually, the gym was reopened under new supervision. League records confirm that Blue, the former champion and rival of the Pallet Town Prodigy, was appointed as Giovanni's successor. His leadership brought redemption to the gym's legacy. Blue's tenure emphasized fairness, strategy, and adaptability, restoring the gym's reputation as a legitimate institution of the league. His use of mixed-type Pokémon, reflecting his background as a multidisciplined trainer, ensured that challengers faced one final comprehensive test before entering the Indigo Plateau. Culturally, Viridian Gym represents more than just the league's final checkpoint. It is the embodiment of completion, the synthesis of every lesson learned across Kanto's journey. Trainers who arrive here have already proven their skill. What remains is the challenge of self-discipline. The gym's environment, quiet and austere, mirrors that introspection. The faint hum of machinery, the shifting of soil underfoot, and the heavy stillness of the arena together create a sense that every action carries weight. The city surrounding the gym has likewise adopted a reflective tone. Viridian is no bustling metropolis or resort town. It is a place of quiet preparation. Its residents are accustomed to seeing young trainers pass through, exhausted and determined, preparing for the league beyond the mountains. The gym's presence has turned the city into both a destination and a symbol, the point where journeys converge before transformation. From a thematic standpoint, Viridian completes the narrative arc of the Kanto League. Pewter taught endurance, Cerulean taught adaptability, Vermilion taught control, Celadon taught balance, Fuchsia taught perception, Saffron taught awareness, and Cinnabar taught intellect. Viridian, standing last, teaches integrity, the unification of all virtues under restraint. It is the silent test of mastery, both external and internal. Even in its quiet moments, Viridian Gym retains its gravitas. The faint wind from the forest, the sound of earth shifting, and the echo of past battles all blend into an atmosphere of calm finality. The building stands not only as a monument to Kanto's strength, but also as a lesson in redemption and endurance. For every trainer who steps through its doors, Viridian Gym represents the summit of the journey, the place where skill, patience, and spirit align. To earn the Earth Badge is not simply to win a battle. It is to prove understanding of Kanto itself, from the mountains of Pewter to the volcanic glow of Cinnabar. The gym's motto, preserved in League archives, states, "From the earth all journeys rise, and to the earth they return." Viridian Gym stands as the final challenge, the reflection of every trial before it. Its battles end the journey for some, and begin it anew for others. But for all who pass through, it remains the living heart of the League, grounded, enduring, and eternal. Chapter 16. Giovanni of Viridian City. At the northern edge of Kanto, where forests meet stone and the wind carries both calm and warning, lies Viridian City. Its gym stands in quiet contrast to its surroundings, an unassuming structure that hides something far greater beneath its surface. Here resides Giovanni, the final gym leader of Kanto. To some, he is a symbol of authority and control. To others, a mystery that embodies ambition itself. Giovanni is unlike any other leader. His presence carries gravity. When he enters a room, conversation stops. His eyes are steady, his words measured, his movements deliberate. He commands attention, not through volume, but through precision. Every gesture calculated, every silence intentional. There is no wasted motion, no needless arrogance. Everything about him speaks of order. His mastery of ground-type Pokémon is not coincidence. To Giovanni, the earth represents foundation, the element that supports all others. It is patient, enduring, and absolute. Beneath its surface lie hidden strengths and buried secrets, much like the man himself. Where others chase the visible, Giovanni draws his power from what is unseen. The Viridian gym mirrors that philosophy. Its interior is austere, stone floors, muted lights, and a calm that feels both peaceful and unnerving. The air carries a faint echo, as if the space itself is waiting. For challengers who reach this final test, the silence becomes a pressure. Giovanni's voice cuts through it with measured clarity. Power, he says, is nothing without control. That statement defines his entire life. To Giovanni, control is not simply dominance, it is discipline. It is the ability to command chaos without becoming part of it. His battles reflect this belief. He prefers method over motion, patience over display. Where others react, Giovanni anticipates. His strategy is as much psychological as it is tactical. Every move he makes has purpose, designed to test the challenger's composure rather than their strength. His team embodies this precision. At its center stands Nidoking, a symbol of sheer power harnessed through structure. With its immense strength and ferocity, Nidoking represents the danger of unchecked energy and the control Giovanni wields over it. It fights with purpose, responding instantly to his commands. Its attacks calculated and efficient. Nidoqueen, equally formidable, complements it with defense and intuition. Together they form the balance that Giovanni values most. Strength guided by restraint. Rhyhorn and Rhydon reflect his connection to endurance and structure. Their armored hides and relentless persistence make them ideal extensions of his will. Rhyhorn embodies momentum, unstoppable once it begins. Rhydon, the evolved form, brings intelligence to that force. Under Giovanni's direction, they move not as beasts of raw strength, but as instruments of precision. In more advanced battles, Giovanni's mastery extends to Dugtrio and Persian, two Pokémon that reveal contrasting aspects of his personality. Dugtrio, ever unseen beneath the surface, represents the hidden complexity of his strategy, fast, efficient, and unpredictable. Persian, sleek and composed, rarely enters the field, but its presence at Giovanni's side is constant. It symbolizes elegance, intelligence, and quiet authority. The relationship between them is not one of affection, but of mutual understanding, two beings that move through the world without wasting energy on unnecessary emotion. Giovanni's connection to Team Rocket is a shadow that lingers over his reputation. As the organization's founder and leader, he built a network driven by ambition, a reflection of his own pursuit of control. To him, Team Rocket was an experiment in power, how far it could be pushed, how precisely it could be directed. He never saw crime for its chaos, but for its structure. Order imposed on the world, by any means necessary. Yet beneath that pursuit lies something more complex. Giovanni is not driven by greed. He is driven by curiosity, the same curiosity that leads a scientist to test limits. He seeks understanding of strength itself, what it means, where it begins, and where it breaks. That is why, despite his position, he maintains his gym and continues to battle trainers. Every challenger represents another data point in his lifelong study of control. His matches are methodical. He watches his opponent's stance, listens to their tone, measures their reactions. He values calm above all else. A trainer who flinches at his command is already defeated. His Pokémon strike not at the body, but at the mind. Every quake, every tremor of the battlefield is calculated to unsettle and reveal. By the time the challenger understands his rhythm, the battle is already over. And yet, for all his composure, Giovanni's story is one of evolution. His journey moves from domination toward understanding. In the aftermath of his reign as Team Rocket's leader, he withdraws, not in shame but in reflection. The man who once sought to control the world turns inward, seeking mastery over himself. For Giovanni, that is the final test. The Earth Badge he grants is the culmination of Kanto's journey, the final proof of strength and discipline. It is carved in the shape of a layered diamond, dark at its center and light at its edge. It symbolizes foundation, the deep strength that supports everything above it. To earn it is not only to defeat Giovanni, but to face the truth he represents. Power means nothing if it lacks purpose. Challengers who leave the Viridian gym often describe a strange silence afterward. The battle feels less like a fight and more like an examination. Giovanni never congratulates with warmth. He nods once, his expression unchanged, and turns away. To him, respect is not given through words, but through recognition of discipline. Outside of the gym, he remains an enigma. Few know where he goes after closing its doors. Some say he travels far from the cities, seeking solitude in the wilderness. Others believe he continues his studies in secret, still chasing the perfect balance between strength and restraint. Whatever the truth, his absence does not diminish his presence. His influence endures, like the steady heartbeat of the earth itself beneath Kanto's surface. Giovanni is not merely a figure of power, he is a reminder of its weight. He teaches that command without understanding becomes corruption, and ambition without reflection becomes ruin. But in his quiet way, he also shows that redemption lies in self-awareness. The same mind that once sought control now seeks balance. When the wind moves through the forests around Viridian, the sound feels heavy, deliberate, almost alive. It is as though the land remembers him, the man who spoke softly but carried the authority of the ground itself. Giovanni of Viridian City remains Kanto's final guardian, the test that measures not only a trainer's skill but their discipline. He is the strength beneath every step, the silence beneath every storm, and the shadow that reminds the world, even the greatest power must someday learn restraint.